So yeah, I first started going to Mammoth. I was either 12, 13, somewhere in that neighborhood. A budding young amateur motocross racer trying to turn pro. And for me, like even back in those days, it was always like it was the biggest event I got to go to each year. You know, going to Mammoth, to this big once a year racetrack, it had this mystique. You know, like there's always like all the up and comers would go there, and it still does. I mean, it still brings a whole lot of talent. I mean, it's a very, you know, well-respected race as far as I'm concerned in the motocross industry. That motocross track and the pits and the environment up there, it was like a living, breathing thing. For me, I'm probably for most motocrossers, it's that downhill. I mean, that's the one thing that stands out. You know, you have this big, long, blistering uphill that by the time you get to the top, I mean, because of the altitude, your arms are screaming. I mean, your arms are pissed off. You're trying to get some feeling back in your fingers by the time you make that little hairpin up at the top and kind of step down. And then as the day goes on, that downhill gets so damn rough, you're just praying to get down it, you know, without going stop to stop and end up in the infield. You know, I'm sure any motocross will always tell you it's got to either be the uphill, the downhill, or the two freeway tabletops. I mean, those are like the marquee, you know, obstacles out there, the motocross track. Even to this day, like when I go up there, like the smell up there, it takes me back to being 12. It's like this one piece that kind of had a grip on me through my career. It was always like a very intense race, but you know, it was always a really fun race. It was one of those races where it was very competitive, very serious, but everyone was like, it was one of the few races where everyone was really truly friends. You know, like all the guys were hanging out, doing bike prep in the parking lots of the condos. I mean, it's just like, it encompassed the whole entire town, you know, for those 7 days each year.